we're sitting here having a cup of coffee, and the gentleman sitting across me was gracious and kind to grant me an interview. Mr. Robert Goulet. Bob, how are you?
Oh, I'm just fine, thank you.
And I know our listeners are going to be thrilled because we get an awful lot of mail always saying play with Robert Goulet Records or
really?
Where is Robert? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So are you on a tour now, basically, or?
Well, not really. I just hit a couple of places. We're in New Orleans for a while, then here, and then going to Kentucky for two performances tomorrow night, and then head back to Vegas for one night, and then off to Los Angeles for a couple of weeks. I know it's going to sound uppity, but I have a boat, and I used to live on my boat when my ex-wife and I separated, and it was my home. And it's good size, you know, it's like 72-footer up top, and it was my home. I lived there alone. I enjoyed myself immensely. And all of a sudden, I got a call one night from a lady whom I'd met when I was in London. I did a couple of shows there, Shirley Bassey and Tom Jones several times. And she was a PR lady and also worked, she had her own photographic shop and she had an antique shop. And I knew her just to say hello. But she called, she was a guest of Sammy Davis Jr. and his wife. They were, Eltides and Vera were very good friends. She was their guest. They went out one night. I think it was a Saturday night, and they didn't take Vera. I don't know how she got my number. She had it years back. I suppose it was the same number, and she called, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" She said, "I'm in town. Can we see each other?" I said, "Yeah. Want to come down?" "Do you want to come down?" That's how gallant I was. And she said, "Okay." She grabbed a cab and came down to the boat. She tasted my fare, my food. You see, I was living alone, and I don't have anything special to prepare for me, so I lived off a crock pot. Every week, I'd make a different crock pot. Different. I make 1 week is meat, next week is fish, next week it's meat again, you know. And you put little condiments inside there. I like curry, so everything was full of curry. And I would eat the crock pot for the whole week. You just heat it up, and it's all yours. I like it cold, too. What the heck? That and woolite were my saviors, because I put everything in the tub that needed to be washed. Woolite's marvelous.
Yeah, isn't it?
Anything you put in there comes out and it smells clean and fresh. I mean, if you're all by yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, use woolite. They don't even know who I am. But she came over, tasted my food, and said, "Robert," she calls me Robert, "could I cook for you tomorrow night?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." I didn't realize she's a gourmet cook.
Oh, boy.
She wasn't too crazy about my crock pot.
I guess not.
She cooked for me, and the night after that, she came down with her luggage, and we've been together ever since.
How about that? Terrific. Well, that's a great
What was
story.
the question?
Well, that's
Oh, yes. She redid the boat,
Uh-huh.
and I haven't seen it yet. But she put in new draperies, new furniture, new rugs, wallpaper, gosh knows what. And all these things that I can't afford because it's too blessed expensive. You know, a boat is like a hole in the water you pour money into. And she said, "Darling, and it looks good now." And I said, "Yeah, sure. I'll see it for the first time on Monday. And we'll stay there for about 10 days, just relaxing. Going to the island and maybe head up to San Francisco or something like that. Vacation.
Sounds great.
Something we need, you know.
I know when I was trying to contact you to do the interview, the production company in Vegas said, "You have to go through Vera Goulet. She's handling everything."
She handles everything, yeah.
Oh, that's great, isn't it? I mean,
In a sense, it's great because she doesn't let me talk to a dozen cooks.
Yeah.
You know, she handles all that for me. Because I don't have a manager, and so she sort of speaks as my manager at the moment, and I'm most grateful for that. But it's a little rough on her, because that's a tough job.
it is a tough job.
Oh, yeah.
We were speaking a little bit earlier about a new recording.
Yeah.
And as I say, you know, we play most of the records of the artists of the 60s and late 60s when you did most of your recording,
Sure.
too. And, of course, that's the only thing really left unless they reissue something now. So we're looking for, you know, new things. And when you said that you had an album, I said, "Wow, that's terrific."
I use this in my act. I talk about the recording. Because wherever I go, people from around the country and overseas ask me, "How do we get your records?" And I say, "You can't." And they say, "Why?" I say, "Because I don't record." And they say, "Why not?" I says, "Because the only baritones recording today wear one glove or mascara." Those are the people that sell. It seems that 70% of the people that buy records are 24 years of age and younger. But there are people out there, there are 100 million people in this country alone from the ages of 40 on upward who have asked me about the recordings. I am now going to promote and sell this recording through television and through magazines. I will have a 1-800 number in February. We decided to go in February for Valentine's Day. We were too late to go for Thanksgiving or for Christmas. And I would go with 12 magazines, from Good Housekeeping to Better Homes and Gardens to National Geographic TV Guide. I have 1/2 page black and white for the week of February 8th to the 13th. I'm going in a magazine called Prevention, which a lot of people read. It's a magazine for health, I believe. That way, I hope that I will reach the people who don't go to record stores, but may be, in essence, looking for an album by me. Maybe 1 out of 100,000 people, or 1 out of 1,000,000. But that one person, their record will be there for them.
Yeah, that's terrific. There's got to be a new way of marketing for artists like
Well,
you.
It's been happening quite a bit of the time. There's a thing called Suffolk Records that do sell the recordings, like Dean Martin, Connie Francis. But those are all masters that they're made before. Those are old records that they're reselling. This is a new record of mine. There are a couple of tunes in the album itself that I've sung before, but I sing them differently now. The Way We Were and Didn't We is that one particular song. But the other things are today's tunes, like Just the Way You Are and Once Before I Go, songs like that. Even Lady, which I had a chart of, I've never used. I said, let's put it on the album. And we did it in one take and hope that it'll mean something, say something. I'm much more prepared to record today now, after having lived a few years, and I know what's going on out there a little more than I did before. And I've had my share of ups and downs, so I use that in my performances and in the recording. And I think now is the time to bring that forth to the public. Hopefully it will be accepted.
Thank God. We were forgotten for all this time. And that's like you say, that's that audience that's 40 and over. You know,
Right,
they just,
right.
there's no place for them to go.
Exactly. They don't go to record stores, my goodness gracious. I wouldn't know who the heck all these people were.
But, you know, merchandise that way through magazines, and that's a great idea.
Yes, so I picked the magazines that have the biggest circulation, and primarily the people that are in their 30s and 40s upward.
Well, don't forget me. I need an album, too, because we'll play the heck out of it, you know.
You get it.
You were talking about the act. I want to ask you a question. I had talked to a lady that was in Vegas. I think she caught your act there. And she said it was one of the most emotional things that she has seen in a long time. It was terrific. She was just raving about it. But there's something you do in the act that really brings tears to somebody's eyes?
I get involved with all my songs, and if they're up-tempo or cute, or if they have something... well, most of my songs have something to say. So therefore, when you sing a song like Just Once Before I Go, I want you to know that I do it all again. I mean it when I sing it. And there are most times, and I don't say this with... I'm not bragging about doing this, I can't do it every night. But the tears are coming, and if they're real. I don't fake it. If I don't feel it that night, then the tears don't come. But I get into my lyric, and so therefore this lady must have been sitting up front, and she caught hold of my vibes.
It was tremendous.
Oh, yeah, but I also enjoy fooling around.
Oh, yeah.
I don't go out there and sing a couple of sad songs.
Oh, no. But it was, the reason I asked you about it is I wondered if there was a special bit in the act that you did, or...
Oh, I don't know. There could have been any one of a number of songs.
Yeah, because it changes from night to night.
No, we kind of keep the act in pretty good stead for at least a couple of months, when you change and change.
Who writes your arrangements?
I have a host of people that write my arrangements, but Larry White, who's my conductor, has written a lot of the arrangements for the album right now. But gosh almighty, I've gone from Don Costa to gosh knows what. I'm trying to think of my favorite arrangement right now. I can't think of the little guy's name, and he's my favorite, and I'll think of him in a couple of seconds. Go ahead, keep on talking. Yes.
Has some very fine, tasty arrangements on it.
Yep.
I can't recall the name of it, but I'll Take Romance is on there.
Oh, my goodness.
It's an old album.
Yes, it is.
You know who wrote the arrangements for that?
No. I'll Take Romance. My goodness gracious. You know?
No, I don't.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were...
That's why I'm asking.
I haven't got a clue. I don't listen to myself. So I
no, it was very, very tastefully done with flutes, and it kind of had a swinging little beat to it. Yeah.
That could have been Sid Raymond.
Sounded like it. Yeah. All right.
No, my wife played one of my records. I think it was last Christmas, with a whole pile of other things. And I was working around the kitchen. I heard this voice, and I stopped to listen to it. And I said, who the blazes is that? And I said, that is And I'm serious when I say this. That is awful. Whoever that guy is, he should get out of the business. I mean, throw him a... Darling, turn that off, please. And she said, listen to it a little bit longer. And I did, and I said, holy mackerel, that's me. I was awful. I was lousy. That's why I don't listen to myself, I guess.
Well, it's, well, like you say, with age and experience and you mature, and then you can do a hell of a job when, you know, you've got all that behind you in the background.
Yeah.
Where did you came from Canada?
I was born in Massachusetts.
Oh,
But
Massachusetts.
My father died, and I went to Canada when I was 13 years old. And I lived there for 13 years in Edmonton, Alberta, and in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And then auditioned and got the role of Lancelot in Camelot, and then went to New York.
So you did come with the express purpose of auditioning. I mean, you weren't working in the States at that time.
No, I was doing a weekly television show in Canada.
Oh, and you said you were in radio, too?
Oh, yes, that was before. That was in Edmonton. I did radio for a couple of years, and then I received a scholarship to go to the Conservatory of Music in Toronto to learn how to make noises. And then I did the weekly television show, network show for General Electric for 3 years, called Showtime. Plus, I did a lot of stage work there, and I was at Stratford and in Vancouver, and then I played a couple of years summer stock in Ohio. And from there, this man called me when I was in Bermuda taking a vacation. One vacation I had, I don't know how long, I put a notice on my answering service that said, if anybody calls, I'll be at the Elbow Beach Hotel in Bermuda. Thank you. As a joke. Who's going to call me there? I played golf, came back, and they said, there's a message. A man called Abe Newborn called from New York, wanted to talk to me. I said, who the blazes is Abe Newborn? Called him up, and he says, can you come to audition in New York for Lerner and Lowe? And I said, no. He said, why not? I said, because I'm busy. I said, I leave here, go back to Toronto. I'm doing a stage show, play, and my television show, which is on Sunday nights. And I've been no time, because I'm rehearsing all the week, and for the next, gosh knows how long, to get these two things done. He says, I'll see if you can do it. And I said, I'll see, but I don't think so. Went back to Toronto, and I spoke to the man who had directed me in the stage play. He only had Monday, the whole day Monday with me alone. That's the only day he had with me, alone. And I said, that's what they asked me to do. He says, go. I said, you're kidding. His name was Don Hudson. He directed the Wayne and Schuster shows there, the comedy team of Canada. And I went, my bags got lost at the airport. I auditioned in blue jeans and a T-shirt. This guy, Abe Newborn, was not my agent. I was with MCA at the time, but they didn't get the job for me. He came up on stage and he said, I think you got it. I said, what? And I didn't know what I was getting for, what I was auditioning for. And he said, $750 a week for the first 9 months, $900 a week for the next 9 months, and $1,000 a week for the last 6 months. And I said, I'll do it for nothing. He said, shut up.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, you know, this man was not your agent then. How did what did he see your show?
He was talking to an actor, a fellow by the name of Don Herron, who knew me from Canada.
I see.
And Don said, you want to sing a call this guy Goulet in Canada? As a joke, as a throwaway line. Call this guy. I don't know how he got my number in Canada, but he got it. And I think I've seen Abe once in those 25 years, since then.
You know, it's always that old adage, being in the right place at the right time, coming to somebody's attention,
you know. You have to work hard, but you have to have a lot of luck, too.
Yeah, of course, but you have to be prepared when that time comes. You know, too many people sit around and wait, and I talk to them, and they say, well, you know, nothing ever happens to me, but they don't do anything in the meantime, you know, to perfect their craft or study or be ready, and when the opportunity comes, they stand there and
fall on their face.
Yeah,
it's like this recording. I've been saying to my wife, I'm going to do the recording someday. I'm also going to record it in Spanish, and in French, and in Italian, and German, in Portuguese, and Japanese. She said, yes, of course, darling. And one morning she came to me and watching my game shows, reading my newspapers. She said, when are you going to do that? Do what, darling? When are you going to record? I said, I don't know, someday, when we have enough money. She said, you're always saying that. That means you'll never do it. I said, oh, yeah? That's all I need.
Yeah, let me tell you that.
Now we're going.
Well, that's great. Well, it's nice to see you. You look great.
Thank you.
You really do, and you look extremely happy.
I'm happy.
Yeah, I think it shows.
It's my 104th day without smoking a cigarette.
Aha. Well, I'm in that bag too.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You still have that urge?
Always.
Me too.
Isn't that strange?
Yeah, it seems that when I get up in the morning, my first cup of coffee.
Yeah.
I want a cigarette. At night, in the evening, at your evening meal.
Yes.
I want a cigarette. After, fooling around, I want a cigarette.
Yeah.
So I've given up morning coffee and evening meals.
That's one way to beat it, huh? Well, thank you very much, Bob. I know you've got a rehearsal to go to.
Yeah.
And remember us with that recording. I'll give you the address, and when you have it finished, you send us a copy.
Well, yes, and they can buy the album in February, box 20,000, Las Vegas, Nevada.
All right. Yeah, you're still living in Vegas.
Yes, I am.
And you just between Los Angeles and Vegas, you kind of commute?
Well, no, not really. We're staying mostly in Las Vegas.
Mostly now.
Yeah.
And thank you very much.
Likewise.